Hey everyone, so I forgot my selfie stick, so bear with me as I use my hand to walk through this park. It's a beautiful sunny day after all, lots of rain, but now it's turned to some sun, so it's good to see the change of weather. Sometimes the rain makes us feel a little gloomy. I think you know what I mean. So it is nice to get out and about and be able to get back on the trail when it's, warm, sunny. So I think this is like a pivot point, and then I'm just going to circle around. Okay. So, anyway, I've been doing a lot of thinking about just that people are on different paths at different timing and different levels, and that sometimes when we get in our own head, like we have all the answers, or that we think that our experience can be supportive and helpful to someone. I think it's just human nature. We want to help people out, and yet it's also, sometimes people just need to go through their own experience. And I think that sometimes when we see somebody struggling, it's like if they don't see that their circumstances are really causing all the other circumstances, like if they don't understand that one thing is linked to the other, then essentially they're moving about with like a ball and chain that they're dragging along with them, and they're wondering why things aren't going smoothly, but they're not really willing to unhook the ball and chain to be like, oh wow, it's a lot lighter. I don't have that ball and chain that I'm dragging anymore. But if they're not at that place to see that they're actually dragging a ball and chain, then it's like you're talking and it's just like, it just goes over their head. And until they get to that place of understanding, they're still dragging the ball and chain, not knowing that they're dragging a ball and chain. And they're wondering why all these things are kind of not going the way that they want them to. But yet they're not willing to look at the thing that is so evident to everybody else around them. So it's kind of like, it's like oxymoronic in a way. Like they know they have a problem. They're coming to you for their problem. They want to sit there and complain about their problem. You listen to them complain about their problem, and you say, what I heard you say is, did you mean this when you said that? You get clarity, and then you ask them the really difficult questions that they're refusing to want to look at. And it's like they're sitting there, they're hearing what you said. Like it's they're like in that moment of hearing. And then it just kind of like they're sitting with it. And there's that pause. And then the follow-up question, well, what are you making that mean? And what do you want to do about this? Like, again, as a coach, I am trying to help my clients to unhook that ball and chain. I'm trying to help them see that a ball and chain is actually attached to their ankle. And unless they're willing to, have some heavy machinery to cut off that ball and chain and to do the work that's necessary, then they're still hanging out with the ball and chain. So I'm gonna get onto the grass and let these other people go beyond me, and then I'll get back on the trail. So what I'm getting at is that, oh, it's really wet. This grass is really wet. So what I'm getting at is that everybody has, I'm going to say, a certain like touch point. Like they're not willing to do anything until they realize that that ball and chain is really dragging them and their life down. It isn't until they're willing to really look at that. And that one piece can unravel all the other problems that they're complaining about. But they don't want to look at that piece. It's just so amazing to me that people would rather stay stuck with a ball and chain, some people around their neck, other people around their ankle. And it's like they want to accessorize it. They want to leave the ball and chain on and spray some gold paint over it and add like a fluffy scarf and just pretend that ball and chain is part of their reality. Like they're willing to accessorize it and just accept that is part of their reality. So as you can imagine, I'm just puzzled by this. I think that's the 5th yellow butterfly that I've seen today, like the yellow swallowtail butterflies. They're absolutely beautiful. So what I'm getting at is that little strawberries here. What I'm getting at is that we all have a choice. We have a choice to really go deep and really, another swallowtail. We really have a choice to really go deep, to really take personal responsibility for what's going on in our life. And when we do that, our life just opens up like a beautiful flower. It's amazing when we admit and when we say, yeah, that's really, I can see that. But so many people, they don't want to do the work. And they want you to prescribe, some easy pill to swallow that's just gonna like miraculously take away all of their problems. And they're not willing to do the work. And if there's anything that I've learned, it's that work is required. Hard manual labor work, emotional work, spiritual work, social work, family work, intimacy work. It's all work. And it's all in different pie slices of your pie. But it all needs to be looked at head on for you to be a complete, mature, responsible individual. And if you're not willing to look at all those parts, then you're going to be deficient in one or more areas. And then you're going to be looking to other people to fulfill those areas for you because you're not willing to do the work that's necessary to figure it out. I know, it's a little strange. It's so simple, and yet it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. So I leave you with this. If you want your life to change, then you actually need to put forth time, investment, care, and attention into those areas of your life that are out of balance. And if you understand what I'm saying, then you'll understand that what I mean is if your finances are out of whack, you need to get support from other people that have financially made good decisions and have learned a way to put things in order. If you want to get information about how to improve your health and fitness, you need to consult with other people who have achieved a certain level of health and fitness. If you want to master your communication skills, then you need to work with somebody who has a background in communication skills. Somebody with very attuned listening skills, somebody with very good verbal communication skills, and somebody with excellent writing skills. If you want to improve your personal relationships with your significant other, your husband, your wife, your kids, your coworkers, you need to have certain communication skills, and you need to work with somebody who can help you to role play and figure out where you're getting stumped so that you can overcome those weaknesses and turn them into your strengths. If you want to learn how to dance, you need to consult with someone who's a dancer, someone who has a background in ballet and modern, or jazz and character, or hip hop. If you want to learn a certain genre of dance, you need to specialize in that genre. And you're going to someone who has mastered that skill, and they're going to be able to teach you how to learn the basics. And then you move on to the intermediate, and then you move on to the advanced. It's all about your level of commitment, your level of persistence. And then we have our spiritual focus. If you don't have a relationship with God, you're missing an important rudder for your life. And if you think that you can get away with things and that doesn't, God doesn't matter, then eventually you're going to hit some major pitfalls, and you're going to experience, examples of desert time or hard circumstances, because things don't flow in a proper way when you're not connected to God. And then we have socially. If you want to belong to a certain group of people, whether that's your family, your friends, your acquaintances, your hobbies, your interests, whether you're into travel and adventure, whether you're into, quilt making or, cooking in the kitchen, and you want to belong with that group of people, you need to input time, attention, and consistency in order to build friendships with people that are going to see you as someone who takes that particular hobby or passion seriously. So we have all these different pie slices in our pie. Every day we have a choice of which pie slice we're going to focus on. And we can either make excuses or we can do something about it. So my invitation to you is to consider the possibility of life coaching. Life coaching is dealing with all of those pie slices, sometimes one at a time, sometimes a couple at a time, because sometimes they're interlinked. And the idea is that we all have problems. The question is, how are you dealing with your problems? Are you shoving them under the carpet and pretending they don't exist? Are you making excuses for your bad behavior? Are you ignoring the signs when there's a ball and chain obviously attached to you and everybody else can see it? So the invitation is there. If you'd like to check out the information that I'll have linked in this description, please check it out. A simple phone call to determine whether or not you're ready to get started with life coaching is all it takes. And with consistency, with practice, you can not only level up your current circumstances, you can level up your life. Thanks for being with me today. Have a beautiful one.